Yo, you know it's your boy LoV. We here on N.A.W.A TV. I'm here with your boy JT. How you feeling, my brother?
How you doing, man?
It's been a while, bro.
Yeah, man.
I know you've been making moves. A lot of music has been out.
Appreciate
Let's
it.
get right into it. Tell the people what made you even get into all of this creativity that you've been displaying.
I would say probably since like the age of 5.
Okay.
I always been like musical. My mother, she's a singer.
Wow.
My sister, she's a singer. She sang background for N.A.W.A like early 2000s.
Okay.
She was in Germany, and then my mom, she's a gospel singer. She signed with like Hilltop Records in like 2005.
Okay.
And she put out a few CDs. So music has always been like a big part of my family.
It's always around you. It's motivating you to do that.
Definitely.
So in terms of music, what makes you go the route that you go besides the influences that you have around you? What makes you take the steps to make that type of music that everybody knows that's actually JT? Because you have a sound where people know it's you once they hear it on the radio.
Thank you.
Like I could definitely tell, like, oh, that's JT.
Thank you.
You don't sound like anybody, so it's like, what made you take that route?
I always had like a big affinity for like 80s R&B.
Okay.
So like on a daily
Everybody
basis.
should.
Yeah, I mean for real.
Yeah.
Because most people they say like 90s. But I've
Okay.
always been like an 80s head. So like any given day I'm like listening to like Freddie Jackson, Peabo Bryson, like
Freddie
people
Jackson,
like that.
okay,
Like
okay.
people before I was even like thought of. So that's what really like inspires my creativity. Like anytime I'm about to like do a project, I always listen to like the GOATs from way before. Because I feel like there was a certain level of authenticity that was there that sometimes is missing. So I really draw from that. Yeah.
Okay. So you draw from the organic vibe of it.
It gotta be real to me. For me to
If
really-
it's not real, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, man.
So traveling wise, how do you get your music out there? Because I know that you have a team, or is it? Because I know you're always on the go and you're always doing your thing.
Yeah.
So I know you're probably not waiting for a secretary or somebody to get your stuff done. You're doing it yourself. That's why I got to know personally behind the scenes, like what's going on.
So it's crazy. So no team, no marketing, no nothing. It's just really been me.
Okay.
I had a management team for about a year, but after that I just felt like, you know, everybody was doing their thing, but I felt like I had to do my thing kind of my way.
Okay.
And I just feel like it's been a lot of great things that have come from it. Like I've been featured on MTV and radio and different things.
Heard you on I-97. Shout out to you.
I-97, yeah.
It's fire music.
Thank you, man. So it's just been like a great process of just like getting out there and networking and letting people like see your face and put like a face to the music, because everybody can hear the records, but when you kind of like get out there and start building relationships, then that's really out there. So it's just been a lot of like relationship building up. Went to a lot of events like early on. I started like building relationships with people before they were on, because a lot of people like to wait until somebody's on to like start showing love.
Cloud chasing.
For me, I've always been like, if I see the vision and I see that somebody is really doing something positive, I always support. So a lot of those same entities have like been a blessing to me when it was my time, you know.
It's amazing to hear this, because right now in this day and age, a lot of people don't want to support people that don't have a certain platform. But you can also create a platform by just working with other people that are in different fields. As long as everybody is creative, everybody can do things together and make a big impact on things. But I appreciate to see somebody doing that, because I do it myself.
Definitely.
And to see you doing it, that's why like me working with you is like, it's a privilege, and I respected it. So in terms of you trying to get people to understand what type of music you have and the quality of it and why it's quality, how do you think you give people an impact with your music? Because music is deep, brother. Music is deep.
I think the biggest thing for me, I stopped trying to make people understand me and just started trying to make music that I felt like was genuine and from the heart. Because I feel like if I love it, somebody's gonna love it.
Okay.
I never tried to say like, oh well, this artist is doing this, so if I do this, then I'll get this following it and that. I feel like every time I've done a record, I went into the studio and said like, is this something that I will listen to?
Okay.
Because if you're listening to it, there's always going to be somebody that's going to want to listen to it. You know what I mean? And then that's how like-minded people start listening, and then you start building a fan base. So for me, I've always just like tried to be as organic and authentic as I could. I never sang stuff that I didn't feel. There has been many times where like I've been presented certain things and it could have been lucrative or this, that, and the third, but I didn't feel like it was genuine in me, so I just was like, I wish you the best, but nah.
You didn't let it take over your moral.
Yeah, and I'm still able to be here, and I'm still able to do what I do, so at the end of the day, it's like, as long as you follow what's genuine and follow what God put in your heart, that's all that matters.
See, that's solid. That's solid. That's 10 toes. Who would you really think could like match the type of sound that you have? Or like you guys can make a collab and the record would hit. Like it would go as soon as it drops. People are like, oh, it's out, and they start downloading it, streaming it.
I mean, there's a lot of great artists out there. I feel like
I know everybody has a personal interest.
Yeah. I think for me, I could say a certain person or certain people, but I feel like when it comes to the record, it's all about the right record, and it's all about people just being like-minded when it comes to it. Because I've seen a lot of times where people say, okay, this name and that name, that would be great together. But then when the record is made, it doesn't really have the same magic.
Okay.
So for me, it's just all about like something being organic and something everybody just coming with the same mindset. But I mean, as far as like artists that I love Kendrick Lamar, I love Childish Gambino, I love Rihanna. Like I love people who can genre bend and who just aren't afraid to like, I think one big thing is that like when as a black artist, a lot of times people try to put you in one box and they try to say, okay, well if you're a black man who can sing really well, then it's R&B. Or if you're a black man who can dance, all right, then it's pop. Or if you're a black man who can rap, then it's just hip hop.
And they limit you.
Yeah, but for me, I feel like I grew up listening to so many genres: country, alternative rock, as far as R&B, gospel. I grew up listening to like such an array of music, so I feel like, and being African, I grew up listening to a lot of Afrobeat, a lot of like old school, like Premier N.A.W.A and things like that. So like those type of songs,
okay.
So those type of records, I feel like influenced me to just never try to just make one sound. So I think that's really the biggest thing. But I mean, I would definitely go do something with Kendrick because I feel like that's somebody who if I listen to you, then I would definitely want to do something with you.
Because you would know how to like genre bend with what they're doing already.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you would tell somebody or somebody that's upcoming and trying to do what you're doing now, how would you explain to somebody to try to get to the path that you're doing now? Like what would you tell them in terms of how can I get to this place? Who do I go with or who do I get next to get to a place? Or what is the place I'm trying to get to?
I think the first thing is never be afraid to start where you are. I think a lot of times people want to just go from A to 1 million records. And it's like,
skip the whole process.
Yeah, and there's a beauty in the process because that really molds and builds your character. Like, there's been so many things that have happened. I started my career officially 4 years ago. Oh, wow. And there's been so many different things that have happened. The majority have been good, but there have been a lot of learning processes that I had to go through. So I would feel like the best thing I could tell somebody is just start where you are, create music from your heart, and people are just genuinely going to connect with that. And never be afraid to like get outside of your comfort zone and go to different places and meet different people. Like when I first started, I didn't care if it was 1,000 people or 2 people in the audience. I performed like it was 1,000 people. Because at the end of the day, people gravitated to that. Like I remember I got to open up for P&B Rock at Rutgers University because they were doing Unity Day there. And I remember like, it was like a funny story. So pretty much like we almost didn't get there because it was a lot. But I remember like we was running through the campus, running on stage and like got on stage and people didn't even know like I was out of breath until I got on stage and I was like coughing really hard because we was just running crazy.
Yeah,
but
sure.
You just have to like give 100% in everything, no matter what you do, no matter where you are, and never be afraid to put yourself out there. Like the only way people are gonna know your music is if you tell them about your music. You know what I mean? The only way people are really going to respect your craft is if you respect it first. You know, you can't look for people to give you self-esteem or give you your credibility. You kind of have to just build that within yourself, you know.
Have your own validation.
Yeah, you have to. And you have to always move in a humble place. I've noticed a lot of times, you know, people, the numbers start getting big, they start getting to know people start getting to know them, and then all of a sudden, they're too big to go here and too big to go there. But really, they only went to level 2. when really there's like 10 levels. And it's like, you need to
People
be
gotta humble themselves.
Because people stop at 3. They're like, all right, well, my hood know me, my niggas know me, my people know me, this one and that one know me, I'm known around the city. But it's like, if you want to be global and you want to be all over the world and you want everybody to really, and it really is not about you. I think one thing I learned too, is really not about you. God put you on this earth to do something special, and it's really about Him. So you have to understand that you have all these dreams and you have all these goals, but you gotta let Him take control. And He's not somebody who's like, I'm better than this, I'm better than, even though He's God, of course, He is better. But it's like, when you're His servant, you have to move in a humble way, because you have to be moved here, you gotta be moved here, because if not, that's when you get humbled, and that's when you lose everything, and you're like, damn, you know? So yeah.
Was there ever a time when you didn't want to continue with anything that you really love to do? Because there's always a time, and it's like, wow, do I continue this? Or do I go try something else that I know I can get money from and just live an average life?
You know, there's been many times, bro, like, I'm not even going front. There's been many times where I felt like, let me just quit, but I never say it out loud, and I never do it.
You don't put it into existence?
Yeah, like, it'll never come out of my mouth, because at the end of the day, like, I know this is what I want to do. I'm not doing this because somebody told me to, or because of money, or because of this, because of that. Because there was times when I was doing this and I wasn't making a dime, and then there was times where I'm doing it and I'm making 1,000 of this or that or that. For me, it's about the fact that I love it. Mm-hmm. It's what I know I'm put on this earth to do. It's what I know God told me to do. So that's why I do it. And there have been. I remember I met Tamar Braxton last year, around a time where I was like still contemplating, because the numbers was there, the fans was there, everything. But you know, when you at times like you feel like I should be there, I should be there, I should be there. And I just remember meeting her, and I got to like sing for her. And just with that like little exchange, I just remember how like it kind of put that spark back in me. Like, I haven't even reached where I was supposed to be yet, you know? And as long as I keep going, I'll keep reaching that. Because every time I felt like, is it gonna happen? Is it going this? Is it going that? Then I was like, let me just keep going, because I've already come this far. And then every time I would keep going, it's been higher. It's been more numbers. It's been more this. It's been more that. It's been more fans. And like, one of the biggest things is like when people from like other like countries will like reach out and be like, oh, you're my favorite artist, this, that, and the third. Like, that kind of stuff motivates me in a different way, because these are people who, they don't have to listen to you. They don't have to like, you know what I mean?
They're not from over here.
Yeah, they're not even over there. And they don't have no stake in your success. They just love what they hear. And hearing those type of messages are also the things that keep me going, because it's like, if it was just me, well, honestly, if it was just me who felt like I'm supposed to be who I'm supposed to be, that's enough for me. Because that faith that I have is like, it just has to start with me and it's gonna finish with me. But I also feel like, because I believe in myself that much, that's enough for me to keep going. And that's really what stops me from like ever quitting. Because I'm like, I know that with everything that I've been able to do, when I look at it with no team, with no backing, with no label, with no this, with no that, and I've still been able to get on radio stations, and even the times where like I would hear my songs on the radio. Like, I remember like the first time I heard myself on Power 105.
How did that feel?
Bro, I remember.
You're probably chilling like, wait, that's me? Yeah.
It was crazy. It was crazy because it was around the time where like Cardi just dropped Bodak Yellow. And Wild Thoughts with Rihanna and like DJ Khaled and everything had like just come out, and like those were like the songs of the summer. Like, we remember like that time, it was like those were the biggest songs.
Summer was active.
And every time I was like played on the radio, they always played me between them two songs. So in my mind, it wasn't just like, oh yo, they played me in between Cardi and Rihanna. To me, it was like the fact that I'm an unsigned independent artist and I'm getting the opportunity to even hear myself on the radio. Something that like a song I had in my mind that I just thought would just, I had to sing it because I just felt like it had to be out there. And then to hear it on the radio at that particular time, in between like these two like powerhouse artists, it kind of really made me realize like, okay, there's something meant for me. You know what I mean? It's not
I'm supposed to be doing this.
I'm supposed to be doing this. Like it's not just. I'm not just doing this just to do it. Like there's a meaning behind it. Like those are the kind of things that really motivate me. Like every time something like that happens, like even with like the first single I ever dropped was like officially on like iTunes and Spotify and everything was Think About You. And when I dropped that, thank you, bro.
It's a great song.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And with that song, I remember, because artists have those moments where you're like, eh. And I remember like, I didn't even know, but on Spotify on their viral chart in the Philippines, I had like debuted it at like number 7 in the Philippines. 7? Yeah, and then like peaked at like number 2 for like 2-3 days under Harry Styles. It was a dude from One Direction.
I know it's
Yeah. And I didn't even know, because sometimes you're just on the go. You don't even like, I don't even check this and check that and check this.
You don't have time to embrace your progress.
And I've really just been learning to live in the moment now. Like I'm really enjoying myself. I'm not rushing anything. I feel like everything I'm supposed to have right now is what I'm supposed to have. And everything that I'm gonna have is what I'm gonna have. So you can still try to get to where you wanna go, but you gotta realize that the control's really not in you. It's really up to the man upstairs. So. But yeah, man, I'm happy for that.
I'm happy for you, bro.
Thank you.
Because I'm watching. I seen the progress when we first met, and we met through fashion.
Yeah.
That's the funny part.
Yeah.
So it's like me and you through fashion. You also know how to dress, choreography, and it's like you're into a creative direction generally. So now you to put that into your music and then make an outlet for other things, to make other connections. That's something that somebody can actually look up to and admire. So you got to keep doing it, bro, because you got support.
Thank you, bro.
What can you tell the people that's coming up? Because I know you got some fire coming up. You got some fire. You don't got to tell them, but you got to tell them something. You know what I'm saying? A little something.
So I got the first single from my new EP is dropping on March 20th.
Okay.
The song is called Fell in Love. I'm not going to go too deep into like who produced it and everything like that, because I like to,
Yeah, no crazy details.
Unravel everything. Mm-hmm. But the single's dropping is gonna be, it's just like a feel good radio R&B type record. Like it's something that like when I was recording it, I was just like, yeah, this is something.
So we're talking like I'm in the Wrangler, summer 2020, doors off.
Yeah, it's okay, that type of feel.
Okay.
And it's what I can say is like a throwback kind of feel too. Like it's a lot of the music that I've been listening to. There's a lot of that in the record. It's just like
it's like a blend.
It's something like
It's something.
It's something. Yeah, like when I'm confident about a record, like I haven't felt this way about this particular record since I did my record Call Me a Name, and then when I felt that way about Call Me a Name, I hadn't felt that way until I did Easy Lover and then Think About You. Like every time I get that feeling, then it's like yeah. And then I have a new EP that's going to be dropping. I don't know if I've been telling people it's coming this year, but I'm really taking my time. It could be next year, like early next year or late this year. It's just when I feel it's done, when I feel it's perfected. I'm really in a space where I'm just not rushing, because life is going to go on regardless. So I'd rather do it while in peace than in like crazy
chaos. I understand.
Yeah.